Once branded a terrorist, now shaking hands with Washington. Ahmed al-Sharaa, the man once hunted by the US intelligence, now invited to the White House. Yes, the same man who led armed jihadist factions during Syria's brutal civil war is now being welcomed as the new president of Syria and a potential partner in America's Middle East strategy. The question everyone's asking: why is the US suddenly embracing a former jihadist commander? Is this a masterstroke of diplomacy or a dangerous gamble with global consequences? To understand this twist, we need to rewind a decade. After years of civil war, Bashar al-Assad's regime finally collapsed in late 2024. Among the fractured rebel alliances, one figure emerged as a power broker: Ahmed al-Sharaa, a former militia leader known for both battlefield ruthlessness and political pragmatism. Back then, the US State Department had a $10 million bounty on his head for alleged links with extremist outfits. But as chaos spread and ISIS remnants re-emerged, Washington quietly began re-evaluating its stance. By early 2025, al-Sharaa had transitioned from warlord to head of Syria's transitional government, promising elections, reforms, and cooperation with the West. Now, months later, the US has officially invited President al-Sharaa to Washington. The White House calls it a strategic dialogue for regional stability. Behind this diplomatic move, the real motive runs deeper. Washington wants to re-establish influence in Damascus, to counter Russia's waning footprint and to keep China from filling the vacuum. By recognizing al-Sharaa's government, the US hopes to bring Syria back into the Western fold, trading legitimacy for loyalty. In short, a former enemy is now seen as a useful ally. But this new partnership comes with a moral price tag. Human rights groups are furious, calling al-Sharaa's rise a whitewash of his militant past. Critics say Washington is legitimizing a man whose fighters once terrorized civilians. Meanwhile, Russia and Iran, Assad's old backers, are watching closely. Moscow calls Washington's outreach a betrayal of Syria's sovereignty. Beijing, too, is quietly calculating its next move, seeing another front in the global tug-of-war between East and the West. And in the Middle East, Israel worries about instability creeping closer to its borders. Every handshake in Washington could redraw alliances from Tehran to Ankara. So why is America hosting a former jihadist president? Because for Washington, Ahmed al-Sharaa perhaps is not just a man. Is he an opportunity to rewrite the map of the Middle East, whether it ends in peace or chaos? That's a story still being written. Please let us know your thoughts in the comment box and like, share and subscribe the Free Press Journal.